It's 4:39 on the 8th of November, 2024. I've got these things on because I don't know if you can see it, but my eye is swollen. I've done computer eye. I've been looking at these little phones, trying to figure out God's will for me, going through TikTok and YouTube and looking for leadings of what it is I want to say. So I have an eye problem, without a doubt. I don't know if you can see it, but it is what it is. So I'm going to put these back on. It keeps me from touching it, keeps me from rubbing my eye. What am I doing here? Geneva Bible. The Bible of the Protestant Reformation. This Bible was the Bible they brought to America, and when they came seeking a place where they could worship in freedom. That was the freedom they were looking for. The Pilgrims came to get free from the constraints of the Catholic Church in Europe and in England. There were battles going on back and forth. The different ruler would take power, and his opinion would be swayed upon the people, and you'd have to have his faith. In fact, it was one of the laws in England that if you didn't have your faith match the faith of the sovereign, you could be put to death, and I'm sure that people were. So there was an argument over what the scriptures would say. This is the Geneva Bible. This was written in Geneva, Switzerland, and it was written in English, and it was finally given approval by Elizabeth I, who was the Protestant daughter of Henry VIII, as opposed to Mary I of England, who was the Catholic daughter of Henry VIII. And under her, Christians were persecuted. Under Henry VIII's niece, or grandniece, I believe, who was Mary, Queen of Scots, in Scotland, Scottish Protestants were put to the blade and caused great harm. And so King James was the son of Mary, Queen of Scots. And when he came to power, he wrote the King James Bible. And King James, when he had his own Bible, declared this Bible to be illegal. Why? Why would he declare a clearly Protestant Bible to be illegal? Because his mother was a Catholic. And even though he probably didn't see much of her at all, the way I understand it, he sided against the Protestants. So when he produced the King James Bible, it was without the Protestant notes, without the margin notes written by the Protestant authors. And so it made a huge difference. So while we're looking at the first, well, not the first, because I think there was one before it, but the complete Old Testament, New Testament, Geneva Bible with the margin notes, when we look at this, it's English. It was written in our tongue, and we should be able to pronounce things. So this is about Yah and the rod of Yron. And if you're not familiar with what Yron is, it is a, how do I say it? Well, let's go back to Moses. Moses said of God, I am that I am. God told Moses, he says, I am that I am. Tell the children of Israel that I am sent me unto you. So when Moses got there, he wouldn't have said, I am that I am. He would have just said, I am sent me unto you. But Moses didn't speak English. English had not been written yet. Moses would have spoken Hebrew, and he would have said, Aleph, He, Yod, He. However that's pronounced would have been spoken, because that's the word Moses records. And that is, his name is Ayah. That's pronounced Ayah, because He, Yod, He is pronounced Ayah, and the Aleph is silent. There's more videos on that. So God told Moses, I am that I am. There's another Yron thing that has a three-word, begins with Yron, ends with Yron, has something in the middle, and it's Yron, sharpeneth Yron. And so like I am that I am, Yron, sharpeneth Yron, you should be able to kind of get an idea of where I'm going. So there's Yah, Y-A-H, and Yron, Y-R-O-N. And when you find out what Yron is, it makes it absolutely clear that Yah is not the pronunciation of Yah. That Y that begins Yah can have a different sound. And when you find out what Yron is, you know that it is a different sound, and it matches Ayah. Let's look at it. Yron, sharpeneth Yron. And that would be in Proverbs 27:17. Look it up in your Bible. I'll look it up in this one. Yron sharpeneth Yron. So doth a man sharpeneth the face of his friend. Now that's how it's written here. Y-R-O-N, sharpeneth, Y-R-O-N. So doth a man sharpeneth the face of his friend. Now I bet you're reading yours, and yours says iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. Yron sharpeneth Yron. It's all in the pronunciation, isn't it? So iron, in the 1560 Geneva Bible, begins with the letter Y. It doesn't have the Y sound. It has the I sound. So now when we look at Yah with a Y, we say, wait a second. If Y can be Y and Y can be I, then let's pronounce Yah with the I sound. And what do we have? We have I-ah, That's the name we have. Ta-da! Yron sharpeneth Yron. My Yron just sharpened your Yron, and now we know that Yron is not the pronunciation of Yron. Iron is the pronunciation of Yron. Iron sharpens iron. And Yah isn't Yah. It's Ayah, like iron. And he will rule them with a rod of Yron. Okay? That's how they spelled it in the original English, which means the Y in front of the AH in Yah is Ayah and not just Yah. So all of you out there saying his name is Yah or Yahweh or Yahshua or Yahashi or whatever it is that begins with Yah, you're wrong. You're wrong. That Y is a I sound. And that J was an I before King James changed it. It's always been Ayah. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'll give it a try. But it's right in there. Yron sharpeneth Yron, Proverbs 27:17. I hope your iron has been sharpened. I hope it's been sharpened by this. Pick up a Geneva Bible. Pick up a Protestant Bible for a Protestant people so that you can understand what the Protestant authors meant and the names that they used and how IAH is the name written down in English. Why can't we use that now? Why do I say HAYAH? Because the English language has corrupted that spelling and given it to a false god, and I will not do that. Zephan-iah 3, verse 9. He will bring to them a pure language so that they can worship him in one consent or serve him in one consent. That pure language begins with his name, Ayah. And because that IAH English spelling is impure, you have to use a new one. And the new one is HAYAH, because that's how they spell the verb Ayah, that means I am. It all ties together. But the point is, his name is Ayah. We need to use it. Not just on that day in Zion, but because it's his name. And he deserves that glory and that honor. We're to worship him by his name. His name, Psalm 22, verse 3. He inhabits the praises of his people. In this book, in the Geneva Bible, the spelling of the word Alleluia is Allelu -IAH. And the IAH is part of the praise Alleluia. And so he does inhabit their praises when they say Alleluia. He is in that praise. Psalm 22:3 is fulfilled. The understanding that Ayah is Ayah and not Yah is taken care of. And all you have to do is search it out and find it to be true. And go one Bible back from King James and look at the Protestant understanding and not the Catholic understanding. There's a lot in here that you need to know. God bless and take care.